Good day. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Side Note. Joining me today, Speed Demon, Yakes87, not with us today.
Unfortunately.
So, as we get through some things, please make sure to follow the Twitter. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, twitter.com/side note show. Check that out. Also, on YouTube, don't forget, all these episodes are uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you don't want your comments or opinions heard, please refrain from typing in chat. They will be up there. And as always, find us here live on Glimesh, 7 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. While we're at it, it is Black History Month, I believe, Speed.
It is indeed.
So,
just celebrating the black culture in pretty much everything. So, I mean, that's the long and short of it. We support it. I mean, you don't have to. Just so you know, it's fine. It's fine if you don't.
We don't judge.
It's fine if you don't. We don't.
But just bringing awareness to another cause. So,
but yeah. Yakes, had he have been here, would have been talking about that anyway. But all right,
where do we start this week?
Where, I debated this. I debated on where to start for quite a while, but there's no real good place to start. Basically,
there isn't this week, is there?
No, there isn't. It's so bad.
It's just
so Twitch in all of its glory, and its users are just in deep hot water constantly.
They can't seem to dig out of this, can they?
No, but like as I've always said, everything that happens, Twitch sort of comes out, slaps a band-aid on it, cowers back in the shadows, and it's like starts counting its money again. It's like that's just what Twitch does. I mean,
it seems like as soon as we turn our back, there's another 7 stories just come straight out. It's like they've got to get some control on this platform. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So
anyway,
Justamix, streamer on Twitch, has literally found herself in hot water during her latest now deleted IRL stream. She hosted a party at the Envy Gaming Mansion. During the stream, Justamix found herself in a hot tub with a few strippers who proceeded to dance inside and around the hot tub in their bikinis. That's okay. That's kind of pushing the point, but whatever. That's the hot tub meta at the moment. Some users quickly pointed out a few moments into the VOD where a stripper proceeded to twerk on stream, and later she spread her legs wide open. That right there, blatant violation of terms.
Yeah, that's a TOS breach straight away.
Yeah. Majority of responses to Mix's hot tub stream were mainly against her actions. More critics have come out to support the streamer, though. Some have pointed out that the recent spat of misogynistic comments made towards female streamers and content creators on the platform. It is still unclear whether Minx deliberately violated Twitch's community guidelines.
Look, can we just clear up one subject here? The misogynistic attacks that are coming out there are not aimed at female streamers. Let's clear this up. It's aimed at the ones who want to follow in the footsteps of the hot tub meta, the ones who want to breach and try and push the TOS boundaries to their absolute limit. Like, let's be real and understand that these situations are arising because of a lack of, I guess, respect to the TOS from the streamer.
Well, yes, it's a it's a lack of respect to the TOS. It's because they know how far they can push the TOS before anything substantial actually happens. and and it's very well known how far you can push it. And even if you push it too far, there's a pretty good chance that you're just going to get a slap on the wrist and be like, well, don't do that again. And
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, there is a lot of female streamers on Twitch that are literally doing, the right thing. They're staying well within the TOS. They're not getting the attacks. They're not getting the misogynistic comments and stuff because they're not, in a way, they're not pushing that content that isn't really needed.
Yeah, and I've always viewed the hot tub meta or pool streams or whatever you want to call them. There's just lazy content creation. That's all it is. Like you're using a loophole in the system to gain views, to gain money, and that's it. Like there are female streamers out there who, unfortunately, are copying a bad rap, but are putting in the hard work, are doing the right things to, be better than other female streamers.
Oh, exactly right. And I think, it's not just. I mean, this is a stigma that doesn't just go with Twitch now. This is a stigma that's across every platform, whether it be, YouTube, Facebook, Trovo, DLive, Brime here, even at Glimesh. It's a stigma that's now going to stick with a lot of people. They're all like, oh, you're only going to do so much, and then you're just going to get your gear off and try and make money. I think it's, it's something that Twitch has left go undealt with for too long, and now it's just going to cause a big ripple through the entire industry for this exact purpose. I mean, like you said, there are some, awesome content creators out there that are female. Absolutely. And they do have a lot of great content. But you're just overshadowed by these ones who just want to flaunt everything just to get the fake viewers, really. Because, I mean, that's really all they are. They're just fake viewers. Like, they're not there for anything more than just seeing a little bit of action, really. And that's sad.
I don't have a problem with what they're doing. I just have a problem about where they're doing it. Clearly, Twitch is not the place for all of this content.
No.
Any sort of gaming eccentric streaming platform is not the place for this content. Bugger off to OnlyFans or something. You probably get more money over on OnlyFans, to be honest. Like, if you're gonna do it, that's fine. Do it elsewhere. Twitch is
like decipher it.
Twitch is and has prominently been for a long time a gaming centric platform. Doesn't matter how you cut it, that's just what it is now. So it almost seems like Twitch has sort of been split in two. It's like there's 90% games being streamed, and the other 10% is literally everything else, which is hot tub metas and shit like that.
But I mean, the meta is actually overshadowing proper content.
Yes.
I mean, that's without question. It's overshadowing
Ninja,
proper content.
I don't believe you can stream on OnlyFans, but all you'd have to do is post a few videos on there, and you would gain way more money.
But you can go live
than you ever would on Twitch.
You can go live on OnlyFans. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So yes, you can. You can go live on OnlyFans.
So again, like, that poses now the question is, at which point does Twitch have to draw the line? Like, how much longer can they seriously let this go on for before they draw the line and say, just no, we don't want it, and literally put a stop to it and say, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and that's what I spoke about. I can't remember whether it was this season or last season, but Twitch has to draw that line in the sand. They have to be like, this is where the content stops. Anything beyond that, just not acceptable. Or they, for some weird reason, create an adults-only corner
section
of the platform.
Yeah, well, I mean, but even so, they'd still have to then decipher what is Part A and what is Part B?
Well,
And they have to monitor
it's
it.
their TOS. It's their rules. They need to look at their rules and their TOS and be like, well, obviously, this is very vague. People are going to obviously break that, get rid of that, or reword it so it's more accurate to what the platform requires. And start from there. Like, people are going to crack the shits. Yes, people are going to leave the platform because they now can't create content there. People are going to get banned. So what?
Exactly.
It's a way to fix the platform. Like, the platform's more than broken. I mean, everyone.
I mean,
can
surely
admit
they
that.
could. Surely they could shadow ban technically so that people don't show up if they're going to stream the content against the TOS. So if you're looking at these metas and they fall against the TOS, surely they can shadow ban them so they don't actually be seen on the platform. Even though they're still live, they can still do their content.
Mm.
They just can't be discovered. Like, surely there has to be a way for them to backdoor the system. Pardon that pun in the meta conversation, but there has to be a way to backdoor the system.
They
to pull them
probably
out.
do want to do that, and they probably are doing that. But that's one half of the story. The other half of the story is money. So all these content creators that are causing a stir, they're in the middle of the meta. They're gaining numbers and followers and subs and bits and everything. Like, they're just drawing it all in. Twitch is loving it.
Yeah, because they're using that bloody bumper thing now. Like, recommend my channel because that recommended is using thing for that. It's that booster shit. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to do it. We said this last season. We said they're going to use that booster. Somebody like Amaranth and those that have just got, pretty much nothing on. They're going to do that exact thing. They're going to use the booster and they're going to just push it down everyone's throat. And it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's out of control. It's literally out of control at the moment.
Yeah. But back on to the story with Minx. Jake Lucky, I believe, is also another Twitch streamer, shared a clip of the stream and what happened, and said in response to Minx's quite interesting replies to Jake, you admit to breaking Twitch's terms of service. You deleted the VOD because you know you broke Twitch rules, but when I share a clip of it because you are a woman, it makes me sexist.
Right.
All I was saying is clearly Twitch has changed its ways of what it deems as sexual content nowadays, and it's sad.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with it. Like, regardless of the context of his original messages or shit like that, I agree with that last bit of the statement.
So what I take out of that is he took a clip. He said Twitch really needs to look at this because this is shit, basically.
Well, no, he posted it to social media. Like, he posted it everywhere.
Yeah. But he put it out there. It was more aimed at Twitch, not her. She then got all defensive and then started like the whole attack on him, saying he's sexist. But like, he never once attacked her directly. He never went after her. It was just like, Twitch, what are you doing? Like, help.
That's it. I mean,
fix this situation.
It could be taken several ways. Like, it could be taken completely out of context, like she's doing, like she's taking it personally. Or it could just be just to generalize what the hell is going on, Twitch. Where do you draw the line on sexual content?
But how can, like, again, if you delete the VOD and whatever else, you've broken TOS. Why are you going to now inflame the situation by making it a sexist thing? Like, you're trying to throw some shade back on him because he's asking Twitch to fix it?
Because
like what are you doing?
Twitch way. Like, that's...
exactly. That's right.
Twitch way. It's like, I fucked up. I'm going to blame everyone else anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I'm now committed to this. There was another streamer who was like air thrusting against a statue quite some time ago. And it was a male streamer air thrusting against a statue.
And he
banned permanently.
Insta-ban straight away. Yep.
Yeah.
But yet here we have got like blow up
a hot
pool
tub,
toys and shit.
a hot tub,
Yeah, right.
with
Yeah.
strippers, some
And
of
blow up
which
pool
are
toys.
spreading their legs, which violates terms of service, doing exceptionally sexual stuff on,
Mm-hmm.
I can only assume, was not a mature stream. Because I mean, even if it was, it still violates terms of service. There's no ifs, buts, or otherwise about it.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So
I mean, you can't breach TOS, period, and expect not to have repercussions somewhere, either from the community backlash or from the platform side. You have to expect something.
well, that yeah, you have to, and I think some of them do, but they just don't care because they know they're going to get away with it.
Yeah.
But in a weird turn of events, Pokemon has made peace with fellow streamer Jadeon.
So we covered this last week.
We did.
We covered this last week. The hate rate on her from YouTube.
Yes, it was a blatant sexist hate rate. But apparently they've all, like, he came out, he apologized, said,
Wrong person,
it was irresponsible.
Wrong person, mate.
Yeah, it was irresponsible what he did. He came clean about it, and apparently they've all just made up. Out having lunch together.
Do you know what I call that? I call that a publicity stunt.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more.
No, not Amaranth.
No, we weren't talking about Amaranth.
No.
No. We were talking about Just a Minx before. So like, shit's going on over there because contracts are ending now. Pokemon's contract has ended. She's about to tweet out whatever it is that's next in line for her. Yeah, in 2 days' time.
Next week to find out what fucking Pokemon's up to. I'm sure we'll know.
So, yeah, she's been teasing about a whole new thing that's going on, whether it's back at Twitch or she's moving somewhere else or going into something completely different.
Here's the problem. Twitch wouldn't leave a contract end like that. They'd want to renew it a week or two beforehand, not leave it till it ends and then try and negotiate. So I don't think she's Twitch.
No.
I'm thinking YouTube or Facebook. That's my go-to. I'm thinking one of those two.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it almost seems suspect that a lot of these things happened just prior to contracts ending.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it was a collaborated effort to cause a stir and then sort of use that as an excuse of that's why I left the platform or something. And
Ninja's called it. She's going to Brime.
Ugh, they can have her. No, my guess would probably be YouTube, if anything.
Yeah, I mean,
like that would be my educated guess.
Well, she got that hate raid from the YouTube. Now she's friends with the guy that hate raided her. Like, I mean, does that scream publicity stunt for both of them to get some attention?
Yeah.
With the move going to YouTube, I mean, that would make a lot of common sense for a publicity stunt, surely.
Yeah, probably. But it's also Valkyrie who has had their contract end as well and has yet to come out and say exactly what they're doing. So
that'll be another YouTube switch.
Probably.
That's a YouTube for sure, I reckon.
Yeah. I can definitely see a lot of well-known Twitch streamers moving to YouTube. It could be because of the whole hot tub meta bullshit that's going on, or it could be just other reasons. Who knows? yeah, no, they they very clearly won out, and won out quick. Now, if you if you've got a weak stomach, you might not want to listen to this one. Uh, but this also happened on a Twitch live stream. Uh, Streamer Mitzkiff hosted a live stream with fellow internet megastars Amaranth, Erob, Brittany Alexander, and Jessica Negri. During the stream, Mitzkiff attempted to get Erob to eat rabbit feces for $1,000. However, failing to budge, Brittany instead accepted the challenge. Despite Erob's attempts to tell Brittany that it's not worth it, she went ahead and did it anyway, grabbing a large piece of rabbit fecal matter and downing it.
Oh
And
boy!
afterwards saying, "It's not a big deal. It's fucking shit. Nobody cares."
You cared enough to do it for $1,000. I mean, I'm just saying,
Right.
just throwing it out there. I mean,
As disgusting as that is, this is Twitch. This is like, I mean, this is I believe since then that VOD has been deleted. I'm not entirely sure, but it's gone mega viral. If you really want to go and see it, I'm sure you go and find it somewhere.
it's not hard to find. Let's say that.
It's just
Like this. This is the other thing, right? This is the other thing. All these so-called big streamers, they all carry on like this. They all delete the videos expecting that it's just going to go away. Do they understand that this is on the internet? It's not going away.
As soon as you put
This is
something
going
on
to
the
be there-
internet, it's there forever.
There, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, just because you delete the VOD doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Someone's going to clip that and send it viral.
Absolutely, someone's gonna clip that and send it viral. Like, when you're that popular, there is not a chance in hell. Like, you've got thousands of people watching your stream at that stage, and especially like a major collaboration like that, you literally have thousands of people watching. You're going, like, people are going to clip that shit. They're going to record it. They're just going to download the VOD as quickly as possible. That shit's everywhere. Before you even think about deleting it, it's all over the joint. But I mean,
these people just can't seriously be this dumb, can they? To think that it's just going to just disappear because they hit the delete button.
Is this what Twitch is now? Is Twitch just publicity stunts? You know, is it all about
it
just
looks
trying
like it,
to become famous?
Who can do the dumbest shit to be the biggest name in the week's worth of news? Like, that's what it seems to be.
Yeah, and seems to be getting just as dumb every week, honestly. But on a serious note, though, and a rather intriguing and ironic one, a report by the BBC details concerns that streamers are encouraged to spend an unhealthy amount of time online with damaging effects to mental health. No. They stated,
we called it last season.
And we always talk about it because it's like, anyway. So
John, touch on it.
You're right.
So again, what they're basically going on about is what we touched on last year is about looking after yourself, not pushing yourself beyond those points. And certain sites, aka Twitch, and that giving you those stupid metrics, forcing you pretty well to give up your life pretty well.
Yeah, it's the whole achievement system of you have something to strive for, but you've really got to work towards it. So like people feel compelled to just devote large amounts of time to the platform.
And it's not healthy.
No, it's not. But
It's really
in the
not.
report, the BBC have stated the platform really needs to think about its mechanics and changing the financial model to protect the health of streamers. Yeah, duh.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Absolutely. They're set up to encourage people to be on there as long as possible to keep viewers. If they change the mechanics, it could create a nudge effect to change how streamers operate to protect their health. Again, shit that we've spoken about several times.
Look up top over there.
Yeah.
Come to Glimesh, where
Yeah.
metrics don't exist. Where you can stream once every 4 weeks if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, but we've spoken about that so many times. Like that exact thing.
Yeah,
like it needs to change, and people's idea of streaming needs to change, because this is what they know. They know that you need to put in a hella grind. You need to put in the hours, the hard work, and really sort of push yourself to the limits to create content so you can become famous. That's what's pushed upon everyone, and that's what everyone just believes is it. It's not. That's it. There are other ways. Stream for fun. I don't know. That's an idea.
Yeah, maybe just get back to enjoying what you started when you first started it. You never streamed to make money. You streamed because you were showing it off to a friend or a group of friends, or you were just enjoying content. You know,
if you streamed just to stream and you enjoyed streaming, people will just naturally flow in. Like, yeah, it may not be as as popular as what you were once doing, but it's less stressful, and it's better on your mind and your body.
Yeah, I had this chat this week actually with a community member about it. Is like they say that they don't get caught in the metric system, but you can't not. Like you have to get caught in the system somehow. If there's any metrics whatsoever, you
absolutely
always get caught in it. Even if it's just the smallest metric, like even if it was to say, hey, you've got to have 20 follows to get, a special badge on your name, you're always going to get sucked into that. And then you're always going to look to go bigger and better. So you're always going to be like, I got 19 today. Next week, I've got to get the 20. You're always pushing. And I think, sites more along the lines of Glimesh and others that sort of focus more on the whole get away from that system are going to be the ones in the next 3 to 4 years that we see really popping up and with a lot of strength, because they go, oh, you know what, I can just sit back and I can just stream if I want to stream for an hour. I don't have to look at my numbers and go, oh, hang on, I'm 4 viewers short. You can just, that just goes out the window. And it's a hard system to adapt to. Yeah, it does take a lot to get that out of your mindset. But once you get it out of your mindset, you realize that, what you do is what you do when you do it. And I think that's what you do. You just like enjoy it.
It's always a tempting sort of treat to look at the numbers and like always do that sort of thing. It's always sort of niggling at the back of your brain. Like you kind of want to do it, but you fight the urge to do it. Over here, there literally are no metrics. I mean, you can see your view counts for each stream that you do, but even then, you don't have to look at that. You don't. That's pretty much that's the only metrics there is, apart from there's like how many current active subscribers you have, and that's not
really a metric though. I mean, that's more just general info.
Yeah, it is. But like even having the viewer count up, like I'll admit to this, like having the viewer count at the top of the stream, I'll sometimes have a tendency to focus on that, but I know that it doesn't mean anything. It's just it's one of those things that you were sort of forced to do as a streamer. Is just very hard to let go of.
I think the one metric that I guess, and that's the only metric I think really for Glimesh is like the 10 hours. I think that's really the only real metric. But I mean,
Well,
that's
the
really
only...
not even a metric. That's just like, hey, when you achieve 10 hours, well, you can
Yeah,
be
well,
featured on the front page,
that's
or
like
you
a
can host. It's
that's like a very minor milestone, isn't it? But
yeah. I mean, it
it's
depends. Yeah,
literally the only one.
yeah. Literally,
Um,
that's right.
yeah, it's like, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all. It's the only one. It's like everything
I
after
mean,
that
10
is
hours.
you can do whatever you like. It
Yeah, you
doesn't
could
matter.
stop streaming after 10 hours. Like
Yeah,
you've achieved it. Like, I mean, there's
yeah.
nothing dragging you and forcing you to keep following a metric. So
Um,
at that point, I mean, you might want to do 2 streams of 5 hours and get your 10 hours up.
yeah.
Once that's done, you then might slot back and, I'm just going to do 2-hour streams every other day. Like, I don't need to stream that much,
Yeah,
and that's fine.
I'm just gonna stream for an hour here and there, or you could just be like, I'm just gonna do 6 hour streams because that's what I do. That's
Yeah.
fine. You can do that.
But you got to look after your health. And I guess that's the
Absolutely.
main point is the BBC, like they're saying in the BBC, is we've got to try and change that focus of not getting people's, ass to the grindstone 24 hours a day just to get numbers achieved. It's not healthy.
But still on that, a Twitch spokesperson came out and said, uh, "You get a kick out of this. Our creators are at the core of everything we do at Twitch, and their safety is our top priority."
Bullshit.
Makes me want to cry.
I'm sorry. No, they're not.
We're continuously working hard to make Twitch the best place to be a live streamer and build a supportive, engaged community. Mental health support is crucial to that. They just spew lies, don't they? But it carries on.
If they don't spew it, they're writing it.
Yeah. So it carries on. Our Twitch Cares page provides mental health resources for any member of the community, and we're developing targeted programming to support Twitch streamers with challenges like burnout, boundary setting, and other pressures that come with a career in online content creation. No, sorry. We covered this. We covered this last season, and it did. And the way they did it, right? They're not actively helping their community or their content creators. They basically said, "Oh, we've noticed that there's a lot of people complaining about burnout and mental health, and okay, we've created a page. There it is. Go for it." They just went like, "There's all the stuff. You can go read it, and good luck."
But most it's all just copy and paste from other things anyway. It's not even like
absolutely.
their generic build up and saying, "Hey, look, we respect you as a content creator."
Yeah.
But if they really wanted to fix it, all they do is get rid of the bullshit system they've got in place. Get rid of all the achievements. Get rid of the unnecessary, like, oh, you've got to do this in 30-day bullshit. No.
Yeah.
No. Twitch, 30 days. No. Get rid of it.
But
fuck it off.
I can say with 100% certainty that Twitch is not making it the best place to be a live streamer.
No.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. There's no way.
That all they've done over the past God knows how many years is bring out features that nobody wants. Put band-aids on solutions to problems that are way bigger than Twitch is willing to fucking handle.
And bring out features that make them more money.
Yes. Because they only care about
I get
themselves.
We get it.
They only care about themselves and making money. So if...
But then one's got to pose a question. One has to ask this question, and it's a big question. Why all of a sudden in the last 6 to 12 months have we started to see more features that make Twitch money and less features for streamers?
Well, because Twitch doesn't care about its streamers. It only cares about money.
It does. It just said in the report. You just read it in the report.
Yeah. No, and they're full of shit.
No. But like realistically, you only start trying to make more money if you're losing too much.
If what you're earning is not as sustainable as
That's
what
right.
it was, yes.
So
So,
Again,
well,
that puts the question
is
back.
it a question of greed, or is it a question of them trying to save the platform?
Well, okay. Let's just go back to that contract talk of Pokemon for a minute. Like I said, they wouldn't leave it for a week to renegotiate. They've already lost a lot of big streamers. There's already a lot of fire around Twitch at the moment. Amazon's own partnered channel got itself banned by flashing themselves on camera. I mean, I tell you what, it's a hard situation to ignore.
I can see a mass exodus of streamers from Twitch, where they're just gonna, once all the big names go, yeah, there's gonna be a few people who are gonna try and fill the void or whatnot, but a lot of people are just gonna be like, well, if they're going, I'm going. I'm not.
Well, I mean,
you
look at Tim the Tatman, Dr. Disrespect. Like when they left, their people went. They didn't stay.
Yeah.
They might still have accounts. They might pop in here and there, but they're not as regular on the platform.
Yeah, and like I've said this before, the people who use Twitch as a regular platform are completely blinded to everything that's going on. Either they don't know or they don't want to know.
I think it's a case of they don't want to know because they don't want to see another mixer as such. They don't want to know because they're too worried about
on that. Twitch was the first one to be like, ha ha ha, your platform shut down. They hopped on that bandwagon pretty damn quick.
Right, but I think it's people don't want to know because if they know and they feel like they're going,
but even back when
to have that egg on their face, it was still
like I knew a lot of people who were just completely blind to everything that Twitch was doing. Like, again, either they didn't know or they didn't want to know. They didn't want to believe.
I think it's a case of not wanting to know. I think they don't want to know because they don't want to think they may have to go somewhere else and start again.
Big whoop. You start over again. Who cares? Like, if what you've done over the time span that you've been streaming hasn't created enough groundwork for your community, then it doesn't matter. You can move somewhere and your community, most of your community will follow you. And if it hasn't, then that just shows who you are as a content creator. You're obviously a seller.
Oh no, you're exactly right. But I think it's more of a case of they don't want to know for other reasons. It's not they don't know. I think it's just a case of I know it's there, but if I look over this way, I don't see that, and I can just go this way.
It's sort of merrily plod along, just doing whatever it is that they're doing. Yeah,
where
I get it.
Where with say, like other platforms, the people that are excited about it and whatever else, they're looking for those things. They're looking towards those things, and they're like, "Hey, let's not do that. Let's do this, or let's not run down that pathway because we saw where that led Mixer or where that's led Twitch."
Yeah. But Twitch has been going down for quite some time, and it's going to go down a hell of a lot further than what it is now. It's going to travel down a road that it can't turn around on, and it's going to end up.
The road's narrowing.
Shit. Yeah,
the road is narrowing very fast.
It's now up to other platforms to do the right thing, to implement the right stuff, do things the right way, and take advantage of those people who will be leaving that platform.
Other platforms have to be ready to absorb. That's what they have to do. They have to absorb the mass that's going to move. Now, whether it be everybody or whether it just be a handful, there's got to be platforms ready to absorb that. Because it's going to happen.
I think it'll mostly go in waves. So we'll see a large group of people just sort of be like, fuck this, I hate Twitch. I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm going somewhere else, somewhere that actually cares about streamers and whatnot. And yeah, that will move. And you'll see like a low point where it'll look like everyone's just sort of forgotten what happened and just moved on, and then we'll see it all happen again. I mean, I've seen tweets of people leaving Twitch and coming over to Glimesh, simply based on the fact that it's a better community. I mean, if that's a good selling point, fuck, let's get that shit out there, right?
I had one
'Cause-
actually. A good friend of ours from Mixer actually came across yesterday. Was on the platform, and I was like, "Dude, welcome back." And he's like, "I'm digging it. Like he just loves it. The FTL, the instant communication, that the whole like feel like I'm talking to you, not talking
to a
now
past
to you. Like
yeah.
like I'm not waiting for your response 15, 20 seconds later." So the whole fact of the interaction I think what blows people away. And some people come over who've never experienced it and they go, holy shit, like, dude, I barely hit the enter key and you're talking to me. Like, well, yeah, that's FTL technology. Like, that's what it is. It's an instant connection. It's just, I think with the precedents that we saw last year with the day off Twitch and things like that, I think that fire started burning pretty hard then. And I think it's everything that Twitch do between then and the end of the road is just adding fuel to that fire, and people are just looking for every little mistake just to throw it in the fire. And I look, again, you never want to see a platform go through any degradation at all, but you're kind of backing yourself into a corner when you're on like doing the things that Twitch is doing right now. You're just pushing yourself further and further down a pathway that you can't get out of.
Yeah. Like, as much as because I have friends over on Twitch, as much as I don't want to see them go down with the ship, they're stubborn enough to go down with the ship.
Yeah.
And like, and that I hate that. I don't want to see that happen, but whatever happens does happen. But as a platform, I would quite happily love to see Twitch just burn to a smoldering mess. I would sit back with my marshmallows and just have a blast of a time. But like,
I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I've got friends over there, and like, I wouldn't want to see them caught in it. But again, everyone's got the opportunity. No one is bigger than anything. And like, I've had people say to me, "Oh, I'd come to Glimesh, but my community won't follow, or all my community's here." And I've been on their stream; they've had like 13 people. I'm like, okay, try it. Get your community. Tell them. Well, miraculously, they come over to Glimesh and they got 16 people. I was like, well, maybe all your community's not over there,
Yeah. And as Banjax just said, I just hope it leads to more diverse and specialized group of platforms that equally succeed in their own way. Absolutely, they will. I mean, there's a good handful of indie platforms out there at the moment that are doing things their own way.
Different.
I mean,
they're doing
obviously
it themselves.
looked at everything that's happened, with Twitch, Mixer, Trovo, and they're like, that ain't right. We're gonna do things, the right way, but like in their own
Our
right
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do it our way.
So there are a good handful of indie platforms out there at the moment that are doing good work in, sort of refreshing the streaming name, so to speak. But like, I had tweeted after last week's show, I was promoting Glimesh, all the good things that it has and all that sort of jazz, and I had someone reply on that tweet saying, I tried Glimesh early on, but it wasn't quite working the way it should, and it didn't really have anything, so I'm going to wait until it becomes more popular. That's how they worded it. If you're going to wait until the platform's more popular, you're not going to be moving anytime soon.
No, you're going to struggle.
You may as well just stay exactly where you are because you're not willing to accept anything else. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that'd be
Now,
like us saying, "Hey, we're not gonna do anything with Glimesh until they get onto a full release. So we're not going to do anything in the alpha, nothing in a
like
beta. If they go to a beta, we're just going to wait till it's a full release and
yeah,
there's 100 streams a day on there because we want to get maximum attention. It's not about that. I mean, you've got to understand as a streamer, you paint your own destiny, and we've gone through a phase where we're not just streamers anymore. We're social influencers. So we really need to advertise ourselves on whatever platform we go to. If we leave here and go to YouTube, you still got to advertise. YouTube's not going to advertise for you. You can't whinge and bitch and say, "Oh, YouTube aren't advertising." Do it yourself. Get yourself out there.
it's
Put your
up to you,
name
yeah.
in front of people.
Yeah.
I found the word like exclusive really pulls people in because they're like, "Well, shit, he's going over there. Well, we're not going to be able to watch him here. So if we want to watch his content, we have to move." It's like,
Yeah.
you got to play a little bit. I guess in some ways you got to play mind games with people. You got to be a little bit manipulative, but not in a narcissistic way. You've got to do it in such a way that says, "Hey, this is where I'm going to be. Come follow me. If don't, enjoy." You're not doing anything. But we've become more social influencers rather than just streamers now, and our content creation is pretty much what we do as a relax. It's what we do through social media that's where the real job's at.
Yeah, I mean, even us as smaller streamers, I'm going to give us all labels. We're smaller streamers. Let's be honest. Like even us as smaller streamers, we still have a major influence on certain people. Like,
Oh, hell we do.
If they're just
Absolutely.
lurking, watching the stream, like just us streaming may help them out of a bad spot. I mean,
Yeah.
we are literally that powerful as content creators, that we can do that.
But anyone who sits back and says, "Oh, I tried on the first week or whatever, and it was just crap, and it's got nothing, and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I mean, that's just downright lazy. I mean, that is dead set lazy.
You're after popularity at that stage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You think
yeah,
you're
like,
a ninja when all you are is just one of us.
Like I knew someone who wanted to get into streaming back on Mixer, decided that they were going to do it. They streamed like twice, like 2 days,
Yeah.
and they were like, no one's showing up. Like this is crap. I'm not going to do this anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
only just started. I mean, your name's not even out there. You haven't promoted yourself on social media. You haven't been on the platform long. I mean, I know like hour-long streams, so it wasn't even enough time for people to even notice that the stream was there. And it's like you haven't done anything,
But this is the big streamers, though.
You're expecting people to just flock in just because you were playing Fortnite. I mean, come on.
People like Ninja and Doctor Disrespect and all those guys. They like put it out there. They sit there for 4 hours with 10,000 people, and they go, "Oh, it's so easy." That's the stigma that they put off. That streaming is easy. You just turn it on, you play your game, and people will come. They won't.
I mean,
these guys have got to stop painting that picture and actually be freaking honest and say, "Hey, look, it took me 6 months before I got my my 15th follower, or it took me 3 years before I even got close to getting a sponsor," because people are just coming in and going, "Oh, well, especially during COVID, they're like, oh, I'll just go stream and I'll just make, my wages there." And then all of a sudden they're going, "Oh, shit, hang on. This shouldn't be this hard." Well, yeah, it is. It's, the amount of effort that goes into, like, even just prepping for this, like the show once a week. Like, it's only once a week. That's not even streaming once a day. Like, holy moly.
Think about doing this once a day.
Like, like it boggles, and people just think, "Oh yeah, what you guys are doing is easy," like you just sit there and you just talking a whole lot of shit. Well, yeah,
I mean, yeah,
right.
you just sit there and play games and whatever. I mean,
it's not like that.
Like, fuck, how long have I been doing it for? Like 5 years? I'd be coming up on 5 years. That I've been streaming for.
Shit, I'll be coming up on 4 years.
And like, I've never been one for gaining popularity or anything like what you see is what you get. If you don't like it, out the door. Don't care. But yeah, it's just everyone needs to let go of that meta of
Mm.
you know streaming's easy, gain popularity like that. You don't like it
No,
like if you're lucky,
it's really not.
it's really about streaming the right thing at the right time to the right people, and I've always stated that if you just happen to fall into that sweet butter zone, yes, you will start to gain popularity really quickly.
See,
But
I agree
outside
with
of
the
that,
comment.
you do have to put in some hard work.
I want to touch on a comment there from Banjax in chat. But he said, earlier on, he said, be happy, be yourself, and do your thing. And I think that's what it is. If you're enjoying the game you're playing and
Yeah.
you've got an interest in it, you can talk for hours on it. You'll just put off that persona. You just put off that energy that says, "Holy shit, this guy's really excited about it." Like you showing that, hey, you're excited about this program, whether it be through your social media posts and videos, whether it be through your content, whether it be just through you sitting in chat and talking to somebody and getting that excitement. I met a guy on Glimesh last night, his own Bone Fang, and he does plugins for Minecraft, but he was just making Minecraft so exciting. He was just so pumped up. His energy was just so hyped up about it. And I was like, wow, like it's mind blowing how contagious excitement can be.
Yeah.
To do
I
what you
totally
do
agree with
best.
that. I mean, yeah, if you're really enjoying whatever it is that you're doing, it'll just flow onto everyone that's watching. If you're excited,
Yeah.
other people are going to be excited. If you're in a bad mood, other people are going to look at that and be like, oh, well, you're really bringing me down. Right out the door I go. I mean,
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're going to go and find that energy.
Pig stream, for example.
Peppa Pig stream.
That was a downer. You could see that it was really starting to get to me like halfway
Yeah.
through, and people were starting to sort of drop out. When I was playing the South Park Fractured But Whole, on the other hand, that was the other end of the scale. Like, I was enjoying the shit out of that game, and people were just
exactly right.
flogging in. It's like it's
People
it's
loving
all about,
it because you had that content, you had that energy.
Yeah, you just have to enjoy what you do, and everything will just follow suit afterwards. Like,
They say streaming is a niche market, and the only part of it that's a niche is what you do best.
Yeah.
If you're an RPG player, by all means, get in there and sell that shit to the community because you will make the most out of that situation. If you're a racer, same thing. Sell that out because you will put that out there, and that's what will draw people in.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll move on. We'll move on from that. Ooh, talking about that for a while. After Xbox's recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which we covered last week, I believe it was, Sony thought it would take upon itself to make one of their own by purchasing Bungie for a cool $3.6 billion. Sony has stated that with this new acquisition, is now in pursuit to make 10 live service games within the next 4 years. Finally making an effort to stray away from reboots and solo story games. I mean,
they should have been doing that a generation ago.
Yeah. They've never been one for like multiplayer games, have they? It's always been like
not what you would consider multi. I mean, they've obviously had their things
like Destiny sort of multiplayer.
Yeah, they've never really had much like that. No.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll still tie into the whole JRPG stuff, but it would be more like online, more interactive sort of stuff. And good for them. I mean, they should have done it a long time ago. But yeah, Nintendo president, if I fuck this up, I'm terribly sorry. Shintaro Furukawa has stated that the company won't be looking to buy up external publishers and studios in the same way that Microsoft and Sony have. Furukawa revealed plans to spend up to 100 billion yen to bolster Nintendo's internal development. It's clear that the company feels the best way to maintain its position is to invest in itself rather than purchase external entities and bring them into the fold. Furukawa did add that Nintendo isn't against acquisitions in principle, but only if they are necessary. I mean, Nintendo's
I like that.
always done their own thing, and
Keep it in house.
yeah, they will much rather invest in themselves and invest in a good product rather than just buying people out, so to speak.
Yeah, I like that from Nintendo. I think that's a good
Uh,
that's a good way to basically tell the Nintendo fans, hey, look, you're only going to get the best from us. Like,
but they've always done their own thing, always.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if there's a trend going with something, Nintendo is like, hey, we've done something completely different. And it's just completely, it's so left field that it just works.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. If you have ever heard of the name Shmooey, you would know that he is probably one of the most well-known Guitar Hero content creators anywhere. But unfortunately, he has finally been caught cheating. Surprise, surprise. In December, Shmooey uploaded a run of the song 9 Patterns of Eternal Pain. While initially while initially impressive, given the complexity and speed of the song's latter sections, fellow expert players watching along soon found a few inconsistencies with the run. There were sections where Shmooey's hands weren't hitting the notes on the guitar that were being played on screen. There was a weird moment at the very end of the video where a Windows Media Player overlay appeared. Some leading players and members of the community confronted Shmooey, and after initially trying to defend himself, he eventually confessed that a few of his videos had been faked. Other players weren't convinced, though. They went back through all of Shmooey's uploads and found that nearly all of them, around 100 clips, had also been faked. So, I mean, that's... you sort of dug yourself a hole there, Shmooey.
And this is the content we have to battle with as streamers and as content creators.
I mean, it is content, but the fact that he was known in the community as one of the top people, like, to play Guitar Hero, like, he was, like, one of the best. And he is good.
Yeah,
like, he is genuinely good, but he obviously hit a point where he's like, I need to do better. I need to produce something that's better than what I've currently done.
There's always that.
I can't physically do this. I need to find a way.
I mean, there's always that point in time, where even to be a pro athlete or something like that, where they always just go like, maybe if I just take that one thing, if I know I shouldn't, but if I just do it, I'll get that extra 10,000 or that extra, and then they get caught, and that's the problem. The temptation from what's been drawn out in streaming is just that high. But yet there might have been someone, this is what I'm saying about competing on the content. There might have been another Guitar Hero streamer who is on par with him, who is completely legit, but loses viewers because this guy now is taking complete control of the category.
Yeah. But people also found out that his cheating used numerous techniques, from splicing of the footage to playing the game at a slower pace than speeding up the video. Shmooey posted an apology video on January 15, after which he deleted all of his uploads, locked his social accounts, and disappeared from the community. He also paid all the bounties he had received over the years. So, I mean,
What other choice did he have? I mean, seriously, what other choice did he have?
Yeah. I mean, it was only a
I
matter
mean,
of time, really. You just needed one sort of keen eye observer to be like, wait, something's not right there, and then just
you're in an environment where they're looking to pull you out. They're looking to get at you. They're looking to show you up as a cheat. Once you've been proven and you've admitted it, you don't have a choice but to disappear and be like, well, that was short lived.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, now he has to hang his head in shame and basically just disappear from that community because I mean, he'd have to do some hard work to get back into that Guitar Hero community. And
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd have to do hard work to get back into any community because people will now know who he is and what he was, and they just,
yeah.
they'd probably just shun him out anyway.
Yeah. But other news, Dwayne Johnson, Bruno Mars, and Anderson Paak will soon be playable characters in Fortnite. Hooray! Moving on, Rockstar has confirmed it's in active development of the next edition of GTA, of the GTA franchise. Yes, GTA 6. After much digging, I can confirm it is GTA 6 that is in development. This announcement came days after leakers had said that the music list for the game had been finalized. So, hooray! GTA 6, it's coming.
Now, remember, folks, that's a game you're going to be able to play until you're 90 because that's going to be the lifespan of the damn game.
Well, we bloody hope so. With how long GTA 5's been going on for. But there's no other news at the moment. Rockstar will post it to their Newswire blog page when they're ready to talk about it.
That's at the moment. It's 10 years. It could go to 15 before we get the new one. So,
yeah,
I mean,
but like we might not look at GTA 6 until. I mean, if they've said that they're in like heavy development of the game,
2025 maybe.
It could be the end of the year. I mean, but if they're finalizing stuff, right? They've been working on GTA 6 for years.
They've been working on it for a while, yeah.
But for them to actually come out and say that they're working on it, we might see the game come out at the end of the year, first half of next year, maybe. More than likely next year is my guess. But Rockstar has proven me wrong in the past. So, Rockstar also confirmed in their blog that the GTA 5 expanded and enhanced editions of the game coming to Xbox Series and PS5 consoles will be launched on March 15. That is now confirmed. March 15 is the date. If you so wish to spend money on that game,
more money.
Feel free to do so. I would not recommend it. In their blog, they have stated Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles feature new graphics modes with up to 4K resolution, up to 60 frames per second. Those two are separated by commas, might I add. Texture and draw distance upgrades, which is basically what's happened to every new generation of the game anyway. HDR and ray tracing. I don't know how they're going to implement that. I'd say it would be more global illumination more than like specific like ray tracing, like reflections and shit like that. You know, get shadowing and lighting right to make it a little bit more realistic. As well as offering the technical advancements of the latest console generation with faster loading times, immersive 3D audio, platform-specific features like advanced haptic feedback, and much more. essentially, what they've told us is already what we've speculated, what we would expect, and nothing more.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah.
They haven't told us anything. So it will work up to 4K and up to 60 FPS. So what that tells me is that there's going to be dynamic resolution and dynamic frame rates. So you could choose as 4K 60 as your standard, but in order, I don't even know. Like, all right, sorry, I'll rephrase that. There would be two modes. Obviously, there'd be quality mode and a performance mode. Quality mode resolutions up to 4K. Performance modes, you would have 60 FPS.
60.
But if you're running at 4K, you'd be looking at 30 FPS. Why? Especially on GTA. And if you're running 60 FPS, I would more than likely say that's going to be a dynamic resolution. That's just going to move about, during fast motion.
Depends on what you're in, and
you probably
depends on where you
are.
are.
It was happening, yeah. Also, a new standalone version of GTA Online for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles will debut at launch. It will be available for free for the first 3 months to PlayStation 5 players. So if you wanted to get that for free on Xbox, tough tits. You ain't getting it. You can thank Rockstar's very intimate relationship with Sony. In news that Yakes would be very excited about, World of Warcraft is coming to mobile later this year. There he is.
There he is, right on cue.
Yeah. So if you're a big World of Warcraft fan, I wouldn't play World of Warcraft on mobile. I feel like it would just not be right.
Here's my problem with that. For years, they said they couldn't bring it to console because there's too many things that you would need to bind to a controller. But yet you're going to put it on a mobile phone.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's a Warcraft mobile game, not specifically WoW. Okay. Okay, well, all right. Well, that makes a little bit more sense. So it's not World of Warcraft, it's a Warcraft game. So it's going to be a spin-off then.
So it's probably going to be a very light version of Warcraft.
Right, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Thank you for resolving that, Yax. Meta, as we all know, fucking Meta, shares dropped by 20% and lost around $200 billion in the process. Moving on from that, Microsoft HoloLens.
Good job.
Microsoft HoloLens is now dead. The company has binned the project and has redirected efforts to focus on Samsung's AR headset instead. Although Microsoft is still developing the HoloLens headsets for the military, unfortunately, it will never see the light of day in the consumer market. This upsets me greatly. I loved HoloLens, and I really wish it could have been a thing. But
HoloLens may not be a thing, but they'll still use that technology in other things to make it happen. So I'd say watch that space. I think we'll definitely see something come from there.
Military. Like the HoloLens headset, if you ever saw the original, it was just the big clumpy thing on someone's face. The HoloLens 3, though, was like really lightweight. Like it was getting real tiny. Like almost to the point where it was almost just glasses you put on your face. Like it was.
Don't worry, they'll work with it. They're working with Samsung, so it's not like it's going to be a complete gone wasted project. It'll still be there, and we'll get something in the consumer market for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're now focusing their efforts on Samsung's AR headset, so there's a pretty good chance that they'll, you know, be like, oh, hey, we've learned all of this about AR. Here you go.
That's right, yeah.
You know, try and boost that. But apparently, Samsung's AR headset works in conjunction with the Samsung phone. So it uses the phone as like sort of a processing hub, and then like wirelessly transmits everything to the headset, which is interesting.
I'll just see how that goes.
Yeah. Sad news. Google has come out and stated that it will be deprioritizing Stadia and now has a reduced interest in negotiating blockbuster titles for the service, having largely shifted its focus to selling the service's underlying technologies to third parties. That was bound to happen. I mean, look.
I mean, yeah, we could see that was going to happen.
I've seen a lot of people, you know, back Stadia saying that it's the next great big thing. It's better than Xbox's xCloud and shit like that. But I mean, look, Google.
But they're all going to shit talk each other, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, but Google clearly has seen the light and been like, no, whatever we're doing, it's not working. We need to get rid of it.
And not right now, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there are other ones out there. I mean, what, Netflix is looking at their own game streaming thing, whatever that is. Sony is looking at their next thing
Iteration
for potential game streaming or a Game Pass alternative, either one. But finally on my list here, Phil Spencer is set to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 25th Annual DICE Awards. I think that is well overdue, personally.
Oh, definitely.
Phil Spencer has just done wonders for Xbox ever since he took over. And had he not have taken over, Xbox would no longer be a thing. It would have crashed and burned and died and been a distant memory. But he came in, he turned everything on its head. Yeah.
Yep.
Resurrected everything, just started from the ground up, and the things
and fought
that
hard
man
for
has
Game
done.
Pass as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, Game Pass, accessibility options, like,
he backed that Game Pass so deep that
yeah,
it almost didn't come through.
And now what? Game Pass is 25 million
25 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that, just wow. But that well deserved anyway. But that is all I have for today. Most of it was most of it was just Twitch banter.
So in a couple of things, I'm not sure if you guys have got Discord or not, or have not seen it, but you can now log in with your PlayStation Network account.
Yeah,
that is now linked with PlayStation. So again, that's only because they've got a shit chat app that they don't work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're just going to freeball for a minute here, I'm going to pick your brain speed because last week we touched on a new game coming from Sony that is quite interesting, to say the least. You and I went over the video.
Yes, I'd forgotten about that. Don't know why.
Gran Turismo 7. Sorry to some people in chat, aka Yakes. This is probably going to hurt just the pride a little bit. I feel we've got to touch on that this week because last week we touched on it, and I openly put my hand up and said, providing GT7 gets it dead right, this will be their year. Now, I watched that state of play video, and look, I still stand by what I said last week. I will put my hand up and say, yep. I will put my hand up and say I think this is their year, and I think Forza Motorsport has to do a lot. But after watching the video, I don't feel personally that Forza has to do much more than fix what they've already screwed up on. So, after watching the video, and I know Speed watched it, and I know we sat down and we spoke about it, but let's put forward some thoughts on it.
Right. Overall, not bad. Okay, it's a Gran Turismo game. I mean, it is Gran Turismo at its core for the most part. There are some very good things that are shown off in the game, like weather effects and a wet, dry track sort of
Like the way the
so,
dry
like,
line emerges. Yeah.
all that stuff. But I couldn't help but notice all the bad things that I saw in that trailer. So right, these are my opinions. Okay, please don't take them to heart. The main menu, I didn't like it. It looks like The Sims. It's just it looks like it's just some weird idea
It doesn't
together.
It doesn't look GT like Gran Turismo, does it?
No,
it really doesn't.
The the XP leveling up system was a blatant ripoff of Forza Motorsport 7. The weather, like more so the sky, the clouds, are basically just pictures that sort of blend from one picture to another. There's no volumetric cloud, so to speak. It's not like a 3D entity in the sky. It's literally just an image that changes every so often.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, I was getting that same vibe. It didn't really look like a cloud as such. It just looked like a de-shadowed thing up there that moved. Yeah,
it looks half-assed. What they wanted to do with the weather, though, that was an interesting take. I mean, they've obviously looked at weather styles from
weather
different
zones.
parts of the planet, and how clouds are formed, how the weather reacts. Like, so all that's reasonably accurate. Cool idea. Still don't like it. The plaza, this was a big one for me. The plaza looked unfinished, like completely unfinished.
It really did.
Bare boned, like it just sort of been slapped together. The second part of the plaza was that the nearest cars in the windows were 3D models. Every other car was just sprite. So it was you could just tell that it was rotating with the camera, and it had no volume to it.
Depth.
It was a 2D image. So if they're cheating that close, might I add, it wasn't that far into the scene. If they're cheating that close, I don't have high hopes for that. Their ray tracing model, fantastic, but it works like Forza Horizon's ray tracing model works, where it is a stationary scene and that's it. Like that's all you get. It looks beautiful as it would. There's still pop-ins in the game from the footage that was recorded from PlayStation 5. Global illumination, fantastic. Like I have to admit they have nailed global illumination.
Hell yeah.
Reflections on cars, man, like if you remember reflections from like early Gran Turismo games, we're going back like PlayStation 2, like if you remember the reflections on the cars from then, that's what the reflections look like on GT7. And that's
doesn't look like it's been advanced too much in that mode. Yeah, it looks,
I mean, even in Forza Motorsport 7, the reflections aren't going to be spot on, because you need sort of ray tracing in order to get accurate reflections. So it's all rasterized reflections, but the way the way that the Forza franchise do it is substantially better than clearly what Gran Turismo is doing. It looks like an 8-bit picture that's sort of floating over the car, and it's framey. It's not running at 60 FPS. It's like way less than 30. I
just dropped the link. I just dropped the link for that state of play video. If you guys want to go and check it out, please do. Like, don't take our word for it. Please draw your own conclusion.
Again,
and
like,
it's purely just what we've seen. And look, I take a little bit of what Speed said, and I add and take away some things and whatever else. But like, the video itself, like when you listen to them talking and what they're talking about, it kind of seems a little too fluffy for a Gran Turismo game.
Yeah, like they ran out of things to do, and they're just like, just sort of plump it up. And...
So for certain things, like for the UI especially, like I understand they want to do something different, but it's Gran Turismo. You've got to hold that at heart, because that's the first thing you're going to see when you get in the game. Like that menu, that UI, that's you. That has to be your soul. And I just think, if I think back to Test Drive Unlimited, I kind of get that kind of vibe. I kind of get that, like you said, you said the sim speed, like, you said that. I kind of get that kind of almost like, oh shit. Who had a good UI? Who had a good thing? Oh, let's just take that and tweak it a little bit to make it racing and stick it in there. It was, kind of like that. And then, like, obviously their XP system, like you touch on, Speed. You were saying, yeah, the way that the cars give you certain things, like in the career, it gives you XP, it gives you car points, whatever. I mean, we've seen that in Forza. Like, we've had that in motorsport. Again, is that a good system? I don't know. Like, I didn't really find it enjoyable in Forza. Am I going to find it enjoyable in Gran Turismo? I don't know. I just think there's some things that just, like, I think you and I were talking about, Speed, like the history, like, going back into the museum type thing. I mean, do we really need that?
I feel like
it's just a funky thing.
I feel like they spent an extensive amount of time doing everything revolving around the museum, and the museum's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're a car nut, yeah, that's going to be your thing. Looking up at the history of every brand and where your favorite car came from and all, that's cool. But I feel like they focused more on that than everything else. And
they say this. They also said in there, like, and just touching pretty much on, I'll just include that in a minute. They talked about GT7 being one that you can just pick up and play, or if you're older in the series, you can keep playing. I don't know with the museum if that's really what a new player wants to see. Like, is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it seems like
yes
they've put fluffy things on it to make it look good, but I just think,
from what I picked up, it's not. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't look like the sort of game where I can just pick up and kind of easily get what's going on. Like, some of those screens are incredibly confusing, because there's just so much there. There's so much information there. Like, but don't take this as us bagging out on.
No. I still think it's.
We have very unbiased opinions on things. Like, we love games as much as anyone else does. It doesn't matter whether it's Xbox, PC, PlayStation, Nintendo. It doesn't matter. If we don't like it, we're gonna say that there's something wrong with it. So.
And trust me, we've done our fair share of Forza Horizon teardowns.
Yes, Horizon 5.
We've torn that down to the ground. So we're not saying that one is above the other by any stretch of imagination, but the link's there in chat. For you guys on Glimesh and obviously YouTube, it's not hard to find the state of play. Have a look. Draw your own conclusion. Look, I mean, if you turn the sound off and you didn't listen to what was said, the video looked amazing. But as soon as you start listening to how they have the photo mode where it's beyond reality, you can do better photos in the game than you can in real life. It's like, is that just a little bit too fluffy for a racing game? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need to take the still image microsectors back just so we can change the lighting underneath the car to get it exactly what we want, because that wasn't what was in that moment.
Yeah.
So there's just certain things I think that are just a little bit too fluffy for what it is, and I kind of see them branching, maybe a little too arcadish in some ways, rather than being a little bit more of the simulator.
I don't know. I still think that they're going for that simulator style. It's just they don't know what to do, or they don't know how to implement whatever it is that they want to do. I mean, like, as I said, some of the ideas are good, and some of them...
100%. Totally.
Unfortunately, I think the way they've gone around it is kind of the right way, but the way they've implemented it isn't. So the idea is there. It's just there's not much to show for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit underdone, but yeah, definitely check it out. Again, drop us in, have a chat in Discord about it, or drop us a message. Love to hear you guys' thoughts on that as well. Like, obviously, Yakes, he's enjoyed the video, and I can see why. Like, take nothing away from it. Like I said, there's a lot in that video, and whatever else. But yeah, I mean, have a look, check it out. Let us know what you feel. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think it's a little bit, too out there for Gran Turismo? Do you think it's not enough? Some people might be asking for more. And well and good. Put the pressure back a little bit. But yeah, definitely love to hear what you guys are saying.
Yeah. But I agree with you. It's definitely the year of GT7. Forza Motorsport will have its chance most likely next year. Unfortunately, Gran Turismo haven't really raised the bar too high, so they don't really have to do much. They just need to fix whatever they've got, as you said. Forza Motorsport just needs to fix the errors in their ways and bring out a really good game. Doesn't have to be next gen. Doesn't have to be like the next thing since sliced bread. It's just going to be a really good, solid experience.
But no, you are right, yeah, because a lot of that fluff is less about gameplay and more on homepage and stuff like that. So, look, again, I get that, but if that's what you're going to showcase, that's what people are going to judge off, it's not going to look pretty. So, again, not taking anything away from the game. Hopefully, the actual immersion in the game, the driving, everything like that does get back to that, like when it is a wet track, because they did show you wet track and the drying line, but at no point did they show any car contact. At no point did they show anyone offline and how it didn't quite pick up, or how it didn't turn, or how it, they didn't. It was all too, for me personally, the way it showed it was too CGI. It really was. It was all like, hey, look, oof, oof, oof. Everyone was all doing the same thing. There was no mismatching to any situation. So, look, again, take nothing away from the game. I stand by what I said. This will be the year for Gran Turismo 7, 100%. Does Forza need to step up? Yes. Maybe not quite as far as we first thought, but yeah, they have to step up for sure.
Yeah,
because I still think the series, I still definitely think Forza depends on the new one. That's Motorsport 8. That's going to be the break all end all for that series. It either picks it up or it drops off. There's no question about it.
But we are going to have to wrap it up here, guys. If you did want to appear on a future show, be sure to let us know in the Discord. We would love to have you guys on. Honestly, we would. Yeah, we'd love to have, if just get your opinions on whatever it is the week has to offer, or if you want to bring up a topic of conversation, you want to discuss something that's, burning it at your soul that you want to get off your chest, by all means, we would love to talk about it. So
absolutely.
be sure to join the Discord. Link is there in chat. Link for everyone on the YouTube side will be down below and in the description. As long as the Glimesh channel for everyone over there as well.
We'd love to have more people on the show.
For everyone over here on Glimesh, that is the YouTube channel there. Be sure to go and subscribe. So if you do happen to miss any of the shows here, you can catch up them over there. Also follow the Twitter that is there. Trying to be active on that as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. So
thank you for tuning in once again, guys.
Yeah, thank you everyone for being here. We do appreciate it as always. We look forward to seeing you next week, same time.
Next week.
So
same crazy place.
We'll catch you then. Peace out, guys.
Bye, guys.